Good evening, everyone. I'm glad everybody got the visit this evening before the meeting. Maybe we'll have to do so much after the meeting. Not, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time. Please turn all cell phones, electronic devices to off or vibrate. Mr. Bob, would you please lead us in our prayer and pledge this evening, sir?
Heavenly Father, Proverbs tells us to trust in the Lord with all our might, and lean not on our own understanding, but in all ways acknowledge you, and you will direct our paths. Sometimes, Heavenly Father, tragedy strikes us. We're not to our knees before we find you. But we pray that you'll be in our lives every minute of every day, so that we'll never take you for granted. You're always there for us, whether it be in this council chamber or the journey we call life. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Will. All right, consider approval of the minutes of the March 4th, 2019 meeting. Everybody had time to review.
Page 2, I'm referencing Jason Hitz.
Again?
Again. I don't know how many times I got to mention it, but.
Oh, get that bit? Anything else? All right, motion to approve the minutes for March 4th with amendments, please.
I make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, buddy. All right, any citizen who desires to address the city council on a matter not included on the agenda may do so at this time. Per the Open Meetings Act, the city council may not deliberate on items presented under the agenda item. All presentations are subject to a 5-minute time limit. Is anyone present tonight that would like to speak to some on the agenda? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, Linda Parker.
Okay.
I would like to discuss the downtown situation with people who live downtown. Is that on the minutes tonight?
Number 7.
Then would I be able to speak at that time?
That would be fine if you'd like to wait till then.
Yes.
It's on the agenda.
Thank you.
Is that okay? Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Along with that scripture that he just prayed, praise the Lord, we now have a 5th Street, so 10 months, and I would just like to extend a great thank you to the city and all its workers. It looks great.
Thank you.
Good job. So
God
thank you
is
very
good.
much.
So
We don't always get the thank yous very easy.
Thanks very much. It's really good.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, City Council may consider, discuss, or authorize accepting a bid for property located at 708 North 10th Street that the entities have in trust. How many entities are there?
Well, there's 4 entities. There's the city of Ballinger is an entity, a taxing entity, the county, the ISD, and the hospital.
This is tax.
Yes. What this is, this property's gone up for a tax sale twice, and no one's bid on it. There's an individual living there. Her name is Gayla Fullerton, or was Madrano. I don't know what it is now. But anyway, Nick Madrano used to be the owner. He passed away. She hasn't been able to keep her taxes up. The county, well, the tax, Robin Burgess, the tax assessor, she asked me if we would be interested in taking she got a bid for $1,000 on the tax. I told her we would bring it before the council. My personal opinion is that we not take $1,000 bid for this property. But that's up to you guys. And we were the first ones she approached because it's in the city. If we accept the bid, she'll take it to the county, and if they accept, she'll take it to the ISD, and so forth and so on. But if we deny it now, then she'll just reject it and they'll have to put in another bid. Personally, as is, and Christie could probably verify this, if the county put it out or somebody put it out to bid for sale, it would bring more than $1,000. But anyway,
Well, I went by there, I looked at the lot and the house, so I wouldn't accept to have $1,000 for it either. Now, what it has drawn attention to is the condition all around that property
right,
is not good.
right. Well, and our code enforcement is also looking into it. We're not sure if she has utilities there. So that might be an issue. We're looking up our city code to see if we can address that. So, but, yes, sir.
I'm not sure that there's anybody still living at that property. My understanding is that the state has made arrangements and purchased them another house or rented them another house.
That would be good.
So,
Well, and that may be the case, I'm not sure. I just know that the question before the council tonight is, will they accept $1,000 bid?
So Tommy, is that property as is assessed at $40,000? As is,
I believe so, yes. Total
$12,000
assessment.
is ridiculous.
It is.
I'm with you.
But, I mean, honestly, we could probably, if we had owned it, we could probably sell it for $15,000. I mean, as an investment property. So if we vote tonight, then I'll report to Robin Burgess tomorrow.
What are the back taxes? That's usually what people try to bid, is what the taxes are. That's what I was looking at. You have March, April, May, June, July. That's if it's not paid. I'm showing a $6,000 and a $12,000.
It's on $12,936.70.
Well, that says of March 2019. So right now, in March, we just finished with 12,369.
Yes,
And it just continues to go up because of just compound.
that is correct.
Okay.
But if they choose to take it, then they don't pay the back taxes. So they just buy it for $1,000 and then it goes, it's like a sheriff's sale.
All right.
Yeah.
$4,000. Right, so they wouldn't pay the back taxes. It would just be $1,000 and whatever.
Who's ready to make a motion?
All right.
I make a motion that we do not accept the $1,000 bid for 708 North 10th.
Now, I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, City Council may consider, discuss, and authorize the sale of property located at 607 Strong Avenue.
This is the church building that we own. We actually acquired it from the county probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. I think we got it for $5,000, and then we did some work to the foundation, and so we got $19,000 into it. We've recently put it out for sale through our realtor. It was on the MLS for more than 30 days, and so we have decided to sell it. We got 2 bids. One bid was for $15,000 cash, and the other was for $19,000 on payments. So we're opting to go with payments for $19,000. That way we get our money. The bid was for Segunda Baptist Church. Yeah, it's a Spanish church out of San Angelo. And they're a real strong church over there, so we think it'll,
And we're seller financing it?
Yes.
What are the terms? Can you just?
5 years.
Yeah. It's set up on a 5-year note at roughly $326 a month. So, yeah. And anyway, but the pastor told me that they really plan on paying it off in a year or two. So, kind of depends on how quickly they can get mobilized. A lot of it is, there's a lot of work inside that needs to be done. And it'll need a new roof and some other construction issues. They plan on using their workforce to be their the congregation at San Angelo and
It's something Cowboy Church they use over there.
yeah. And
Terminology.
yeah, exactly.
Their phone.
So
That's right.
they'll have a pretty good workforce to
Yeah.
work on the building, and they're wanting to use their money right now on materials, get it up and running, and then they're really going to concentrate on getting it knocked out.
So Tommy, in fall of 2016, early 2017, we budgeted $50,000 to fix that place up. That budgeted money went nowhere, I guess.
I do not know, Bob. I would have to go back and look.
Should be sitting there.
It's still somewhere, I guess.
I'm sure it's sitting on the budget.
It went into the,
It
went to the police department.
Say it again.
Supposedly that was good as the plan was for a police department.
Yes, the building was to go to as a police department. So,
Did you get that budgeted money?
Well,
50,000.
I do believe it came out.
For the remainder, because we had 19 into it, so.
right. I'd have to look at the
Okay.
particulars, but from my understanding, from what I looked at on the budget, it's still there,
Okay.
budgeted.
Right.
Not meaning the money's sitting in the bank somewhere, but,
I understand.
On the paper with the book.
yeah.
So we're charging 10% interest.
Yes.
That's good. That's great. Bring a church in. Do something good for them and for our community and get out of our place.
Well, it's not like we wanted to make money on the church, so.
Yeah.
If we can get out from under it as it is and get our money back, I thought we would be good.
So you need a motion to make a motion to sell the property for this now stated 19,000 to this Hispanic group.
Second.
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 All in favor, say aye. All right, City Council may consider to discuss residential uses in B2 Central Business District. Joe, people think, affecting on that? I didn't think so.
Yes.
How was it for you?
Well, you recall Jason asked me to look into this issue, and so I had sent Jason an email. I sent it to Bob earlier this week. But basically, after looking at the B2 Central Business District zoning provisions, it's basically you can only have in the B2 a two-family or duplex dwelling. It does not allow single-family dwelling in the B2 Central Business District zone.
This is our current city ordinance.
It's our current city zoning ordinance, yes, sir. Now, it basically says that you can use, essentially, the language is, in the B2 zone, you can use any use permitted in the B1 neighborhood business district, and in the B1 zone, it says that you can only use it for any use permitted in subsection 7 and 9 through 14 in R1. And so you look back at that, and that allows you to have a customary home occupation, a two-family or duplex dwelling, a hospital, a medical office, a clinic, a fraternity, sorority, or lodge, or institution of religious, educational, or philanthropic nature. You can also do automobile sales room and accompanying service facility, automobile repair garages, bakeries, billboards and poster boards, frozen food locker plants, hotels, living picture houses or theaters, laundries and cleaning, tourist sports or motels, any retail business, and storage in bulk or warehouse.
What if there's a business in part of it and a single family in part of it? What does it say about that?
It doesn't say anything about that. I mean, it's, I would assume, I don't know if it, two family or duplex would imply to me two families, obviously.
But I have to ask Jason, why are we addressing this, Jason?
It was brought up to me by a citizen to make sure that all of our businesses aren't bought up as residences. And they didn't know there was already an ordinance. And I just wanted clarification because I was asked. So we got clarification. I'm fine. Everybody else is fine. We're not looking to go around and evict people that are already living downtown.
No, but what does that do about the future?
The future would
I mean, if you're talking about Brownwood, you have downtown residences, don't you? If you're talking about Fredericksburg, if you're talking about San Angelo, we have downtown residences. We buy Pat, the old Gladys beauty shop. The roof was caving in. We fix it up. We paint the front of it. I bought Joe Don Merman's building next door. We're going to fix that up. I bought the old Mueller warehouse right next door to me. We painted the front of that. The front of the Ballinger building looks pretty good. We have single family. We were living in that until the theater ran us out. So I just see real negative impacts to this and a real infringement on our freedom, just to be honest with you.
Well, I'm not espousing any opinion on what you should do. At the end of the day, I'll just ask.
I know.
That's all. I'm not attacking anybody either. This is not an attack on you or any other person who lives there.
I live down
Just answering question.
When was the ordinance last done, Pat?
Say again.
When was the ordinance last done? When was it?
Well, there's not a specific date on that provisions.
I know that there are currently properties for sale downtown that do have single-family residences in them and businesses.
Right.
And there's been a lot of money put into them. But when people come to me and want to buy them, what do I need to tell them that, hey, by the way, all that you can't use?
Well,
Or you need to make it a duplex, or,
and again,
the way it reads.
it also says, and to me, this is where kind of it shows
Unless we missed something.
it wasn't thought through carefully, it allows home occupations. Well, that means you're living there. It doesn't, I guess you could say you'd have to have a duplex and have a home occup. I don't see any reason, any difference in a duplex and single-family living, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're just going to force two people, essentially to divvy it up into two different structures, I mean, I would, if you're going to allow residential living, you ought to allow single-family.
Well, not knowing when the city ordinance was created. Okay, if you go through the list of very detailed
Things you can't do.
exceptions, yes, that you can have. All these were businesses here at one time, So it sounds like they just went through very detailed. Now, I know people did live above their businesses back,
They lived at the top of the grill.
That's why.
They didn't build.
right.
I don't have a problem with a person owning a business and living upstairs I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I don't have a problem with it either way.
This lady right here, Miss Linda, she's been living in her place for years.
I'm having his homestead.
Well, it's not like anybody's gonna come run down here and kick you out. We're just trying to clarify the
But what we're
ordinance.
concerned about is that when we get ready to sell it, just like Christie said, what do you say to someone when you've been, are we grandfathered in, and then you have to come back and say, no, this can be strictly commercial.
Well, it doesn't say that. It just right now.
That's what I'm asking you. Are we going to have to say, no, this will be commercial if you buy it from me?
Yeah, what do I tell people?
Well, my point on the duplexes, so if there's several buildings that you can see that they had different families living above them. Okay, so that may be where the duplex part came in. Now, a lot of it seems to be terminology, older terminology, that we might just need to, I don't know, is it something we need to look at fixing?
I think so. I mean, now this is just for your information on the neighborhood business, the B1. I don't know where that is exactly. That to me is your, a neighborhood business usually is the areas right next to your residential, and you don't allow R1 use there either.
So Pat, if you transplant from neighborhood business, the comments you just made, multifamily living or duplexes, if you transplant that to commercial downtown, then you're also telling me that those people in a residential business from Sargent North, the only thing that addresses that is the duplex or multifamily living. They can't have single-family living. You're going to have to kick them out of their houses north of Sargent Avenue.
Yeah, well, the way we have it in Brownwood, what I told y'all, we have cumulative zoning, which means if you're in a C1, it says anything in R2, and then if you look at R2, it says anything in R1. So it basically, you have everything, because those are the least intrusive residential versus commercial. And so that's the way we have our setup. So, the hot new thing is to buy a old warehouse building like this, in the big cities and turn it into residential living.
Usually multifamily.
Right.
No, not necessarily. I mean, there's some beautiful, I've seen them in Dallas area where people buy them, just gorgeous, turn them into huge warehouses. So, I mean, to me, demand is what dictates what you do. I mean, if somebody's clamoring to put the highest and best use, of business, then that's what you do. If it's a residence, that's what you do. That's, to me, small cities like this, I'm not used to seeing, to be honest with you, because I've dealt with cumulative zoning in Brownwood for years. And that's how we do it. It's not necessarily, zoning, the beauty of it is you get to decide how your city's zoned and how your city's developed. So, that's the council's prerogative. But right now, it just doesn't list R1 single family in either your B1 or your B2 district, which is a little unusual for a city that's not saying it's abnormal, it's just a little unusual. Usually not quite that. The only one we don't allow is building houses in industrial, just because we know the past history. You build a house and somebody puts in a manufacturing facility right next door to it, somebody's going to be unhappy.
But also, it doesn't specify that you can have single family member units living in B1 neighborhood business.
No, that's right.
That's what I'm asking. Do we need to modify it?
Sounds like we need to clarify the ordinance.
Right.
And then-
Modify and clarify what we have, what we need, or what our goal is for the future.
And that's what we need to open discussion.
Without-
That's all this is about.
Without,
Clarifying and make sure everybody's good.
Yeah, I would just like to add, I was a small business owner here for 10 years, and I did consider making living quarters in my building. Just for the future reference, it's extremely hard in Ballinger to own a business and not be able to live there. We've always wanted to be a small Fredericksburg, so if we don't allow people to live in their buildings, run their businesses at the same time, I don't think our town is ever going to go anywhere. It's just hard to make both ends meet, So,
and really historically, if you look at our downtown, people lived upstairs and had their business downstairs. That's what it was. There's been people that have talked about using our buildings for bed and breakfast. Some of the upstairs, have a business or lease out the bottom for businesses for storefront and then lease out the top for bed and breakfast or apartments.
yes.
And that's a need in a lot of different ways in our city.
And Christine, the other realtors, get this straight, get it in black and white.
Yeah.
Like Christy said, she really needs to know because most of the buildings are large enough for a family home or a single person, And anybody that's going to do that is going to keep their store frontage and their sidewalk looking nice, I feel like.
Ms. Parker, would you like to add your concerns?
Well, yes, I was mainly concerned that there's going to be other people who are going to live downtown, and there's going to be people, or there already are people that live downtown who have not homesteaded their property like some of us have. So with all the years of living downtown, there are the pros and cons. And the pros would be, I think you see a little bit better security when there's people living downtown watching the stores.
That's true.
Oh, you're there when the business storefronts are.
Not just that, man, you tend to fix your building up. You have a beautiful patio backyard.
Well, it is
You
getting
tend to
even
fix
better.
your building up if you're living in it.
Yeah.
You get down by Dollar General, empty building about
Yeah.
where you used to be. And you're just
Yes,
blank
yes.
storefront.
That's another thing. I would like to see something done to these empty buildings on Main Street especially that look like they're crammed full of garage sale stuff. I mean, you go down Main Street and, you look in these big windows and you see baby car seats and bedroom furniture, and it looks horrible. So,
That's something in the future we talked about as far as the facade.
if the property owners could just take care of the inside, I'm not saying cover up the windows with paper because that doesn't look any better,
At least out there in storefront windows or
At
something.
least have the frontage of it that you can see from the street cleaned up and looking like something. Then maybe someone would be interested. Oh, that's a nice building. Oh, look inside. I mean, I want to see Ballinger Drive.
When you're talking about vacant buildings, one of the big concerns is if you have a building and your neighbor doesn't maintenance that building, okay, you're connected, your roof is connected, anything that happens to his will happen to yours.
One
And-
insurance won't pay for the other.
Well, and so it creates some problems there. That is something we're trying to address is more of a presence downtown, getting people in. But it's kind of more of a 5-year plan versus something.
Tommy, I think there's grant money. You mentioned the word facade a while ago.
Right.
For grant money to fix, isn't there, Pat, to fix that storefront, front of the building, just the front?
There is.
Okay.
In fact, I talked to our grant writer about it. We're supposed to meet Friday.
Yes, April 5th.
Right. So we were supposed to meet today, but she got sick. So, which I would be able to tell you a lot more about it. But that's one of the issues we want to discuss with her.
Grant writer got sick?
Yeah.
Wasn't Gayla Fullerton?
No, that's auditor.
He's auditor.
I don't know who the auditor is. I just remember a track record here that I can't get over.
Yeah. Anyway, so we should know more about that later. And but still, the facade is one thing. Roofs here tend to be pretty pricey. They're flat roofs.
Mm-hmm.
They're hard to maintenance.
Right.
And if you have to get a new one, it's very expensive,
Yes.
as you know. So, if the owner of the building doesn't maintenance it, then it not only affects his store or his building, it'll affect his neighbors. You get runoff going into the neighbor's building and causing damage. So that is something we're trying to address, though, is some of these issues later. We kind of have a tentative plan. I just need money, Bob. That's all we need.
Would you like me to bring back a list of permitted uses that y'all can suggest to the zoning board, including R1? Right now, if you look at our uses, I think there's probably got a lot of gaps in them. They're pretty old listed, as well I can tell. We can come back with a list. If y'all want to allow R1 living in B1 and B2.
You mean single?
Single family.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
It depends on the street. I mean, it depends on the street. You want You want your Main Street and your 8th Street taken up by businesses? I mean,
That was going to be my question.
that's where it comes back, is
If we
we want
allow
businesses, right?
all down Hutchins, if we allow single family units in those, are businesses going to want to come and put in beside that?
I can tell you,
Okay.
I have someone right now that has moved to town, they want to put a business in, and they said, find me a lot or a building, for in between the bridges. And she'll say, well, what about that one? That one looks like nobody's doing anything with it. And there are so many of them that they go, well, what about that one? No, someone lives in that one. Or what about that one? No, they store stuff in that one. What about that one? No, that's a storage building too. So a lot of the really good real estate, I'm not saying your house or anything, but a lot of the good real estate is taken up by people just sitting on it, letting it rot.
Collapse.
Or storing stuff, cheap storage. Not so many that people are looking at, that's not really an issue, but if lots of people did move downtown, it's hard to find a place. And I've had others that have just kept on going to the next town because they couldn't find anything. Because people will sit on them and they're using them for storage rooms.
Yeah.
And they don't want to lease them out or sell them or do anything with them. So then we just have a storefront with like car seats sitting there in the window. And meanwhile, people are coming to town wanting to invest in Ballinger and bring,
But at one time, some of those buildings she's mentioning were businesses.
Yes.
but
And
they
they
haven't
were
been like,
vacated. And what she's talking about, somebody else coming in, same thing could happen. I'm for single family living downtown, I don't care where it is, that's the way I'm gonna vote, that brings it up.
Tommy, San Angelo started out, downtown was all businesses, there was maybe one building down there that people lived in. Downtown San Angelo is so thriving, but they have built it up for people to live down there.
Yeah.
And they, it's advertised that they have places for people to live, whether it's a loft or they own their building, they live upstairs. But they are thriving in downtown San Angelo. I never thought I'd see the day, but downtown San Angelo at night would be busier than the mall.
Right.
It is, and it's good to see, because I used to run around that area 20, 30 years ago, and now to go walk down there at night with our kids,
totally
it's
different.
totally opposite.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And you've got families living there that you're safe. It's not just desolate and empty.
Right. It's either single family, some of them, but there's a lot of multifamily upstairs, and then there's businesses downstairs, or restaurants downstairs, and upstairs is apartments.
I would say more my building that I run into is just buildings that are nothing's being done and they're just being used for storage, not so much.
Here, we need to work on it.
Your ex-building used for storage, Jennifer? No.
Of course, it's not mine anymore, but yes, it is.
Well, it's basically empty. The
Yeah.
store of a Dollar General is basically empty. I don't see any of those buildings, businesses moving in.
My old building is full of household items and furniture and stuff like garage sale stuff.
Yeah.
And then the one next to me, that is the treasure and plunder. Literally, she just walked out 2 years ago and left naked mannequins in the window, and they're still, I'm sorry, but they're still that way.
Right.
It's greasy,
She'll be moved from here in 6 months.
Well,
And so, and it's gonna stay just like that.
exactly, and I don't know, I'm all for single family, multi-family, whatever, living in the buildings, as long as they keep the frontage nice and pretty, and, they're on corners, the sides and the back. Auditor have a beautiful, beautiful courtyard.
And we could have ordinances that mandate that.
Yes. All right, so we're in agreement, we need to modify the ordinance and get it updated for B1 and B2 in order to include the businesses as well.
Yes, we're going to.
And we can work on that
I'll
one?
come back with a list to you next council meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll send that to zoning, just go through it.
Awesome.
And come
I
back.
think the market will dictate what they're used for. If
Right,
business is
right.
thriving, businesses are gonna
Right.
find a way to get in.
Cool. And I mean, Ms. Parker brought up a good point. Financial sat with so much vacancy for so long until somebody come in with a new vision or saw what was going on, and now it's just, it is booming.
Well, one thing, if we can get our EDC tax in place or additional economic development tax.
Right.
You know, that's what we did in downtown Brownwood. We basically had a facade program where we would match up to $20,000 for anybody
Yeah,
who
that's
approved one of their buildings.
That's it.
And we ended up, I think there was almost $1 million in all the buildings downtown. People took advantage of that, usually doubled and tripled what we would offer them. And we saw a lot of new roofs, things that you need because old buildings. It was really set up only for infrastructure type, not just doing awnings, but roofs and air conditioning systems and things that really would benefit the building for the long term. And so I think that would be the goal. I mean, ultimately, you'd rather see somebody occupying, living in it, keeping it nice, rather than just see these storage buildings. Really, it doesn't say storage. I don't see that as permitted use either. It's just a storage structure.
Well, the problem when you put it in storage, these buildings, they go bad quick. I guess the roof, you get a leak in there, it goes out pretty quick. So as long as there's maintenance on it, it's all that, that's what matters. Because we've had buildings we've had to tear down because, the owner didn't maintenance it, he let it go. The latest one, I guess, was the 3-story building by Mark Willingham. And
He's the old building get torn down.
Yeah, that was a square building that was okay.
Well, yeah, it was. And so,
Well, that's where we can get act on code enforcement, if we can kind of stay ahead of those. If any of those buildings are just sitting there, start looking at them as far as their structure and make sure they're not deteriorating to the point where they're going to destroy the building next to them.
right.
And pushing that way, at the end of the day, maybe if nothing else, we can get some of these buildings back ourselves, where we can market them as we see fit.
That's a great idea.
Tommy, do we have an official code enforcement person now that is legal and licensed to actually write a ticket?
Oh, one of the policemen.
We have Steve Nixon, who's our code enforcement
Yes.
guru, I guess,
Yes,
our
I
main
remember
guy.
that. Okay.
And then, but when we have a police officer who's gone through his classes and he's taken his test already, or just
He's waiting, we have to pay a fee and then we'll take the test.
okay. So he will soon be taking his test. And he'll be
Actual code enforcement officer.
legalized code enforcement officer.
So how far can Steve pursue something?
Well, the thing, he can issue citations and he can also condemn, write letters. He can do the whole gamut, right? And what our theory is that we have someone who actually, he can go through and condemn houses. Ones that we may need to tear down, they're safety hazards or something like that. Steve will concentrate more on that, whereas our police officer, he can get citations. So you're kind of hitting them both ways. You hit them at the municipal court, you hit them with, condemnation. So, or through the council, and a lot of the municipal stuff will be cleaning up your area. We've had several citations given to clean up their houses. They may have had junk cars sitting out, in front of their house, and we'll help them clean up. If they come to us, we can. One individual we helped remove his cars. He ended up just giving us the title of these junk cars, so we just took them off his hands. There's several ways we can help. We can, have them access to the recycle center, just drop off the trash, or whatever they're throwing away. sometimes it's furniture, refrigerators, stoves, an old building, a shed that fell down, there's a lot of different things that have come through.
So something in that condition, does a person need to come to council and report on a certain address to get it cleaned up? Or do the enforcement officers just drive around and
You call Melissa and we'll investigate it. Yes.
How do we follow up on stuff like several years ago when Mr. McDaniels was previously on council? There's a building that I know of that city council said, we're going to condemn it. The guy said, wait, give me a little bit of time to work on it. And that's been many years, and that building still doesn't have a roof on it.
Right.
How do we go by checking up on that after we've said, okay, you got some time?
Through the years, there's been a lot of property that had letters written for condemnation, and sometimes it'd go to council, sometimes it wouldn't. We're getting more of a plan together on properties that we need to look at, and that one you're talking about is on our radar.
Okay. Because obviously I have a vested interest in
Right.
that building having a roof.
Right.
We had several, a couple months, 3 months ago maybe, that
Where's that, Steve?
Next door to me.
Oh, okay.
we were going to work on them.
I mean, he has worked on it, but it's been, 8 years, Bob?
It is. Don't go too much further than that.
But I'm just,
No, you're right.
somewhere in that neighborhood.
But you are correct, Steve, because when I was looking for a building to open my store, it was that way, because I looked at it.
We can continue.
Yeah,
Because I talk about housing and business downtown stuff for hours, but
I was just curious how we follow up on that
Method
after
to
we've
follow
said.
up on our actions, I guess is what it is.
On the timer.
yeah.
Something automated.
I would assume that a time limit of 7 years would have been good.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that that's previous to
Yeah.
everybody.
We've got a system in place. We
Okay.
have a new city ordinance that helps us. So
That was my curiosity.
Right.
So,
I want to back up just a minute. We're talking about some of these buildings downtown Hutchins. If you were wanting to condemn one of those buildings and it has a common roof, would we not have to have engineering inspection to be able to,
Well, they have common walls, but not common roofs.
well,
don't all of them, a lot of them down there have a common roof?
some of them will, and we'd have to look at it case by case basis. Even though we can,
It's more common wall than a common roof.
I just
yeah.
Most of them
want to
have
be
a
sure
roof.
This much.
Kind of a-
more.
when we do a condemnation, we know what we need to do in order to get there.
Right. Yeah. No, we would have it with.
All right, let's move on. We're off agenda. All right, we're going to have Pat look that up. We're not going to make a motion on that at this time, unless you say so. No?
I'll bring you back the list.
Okay. All right, moving on to agenda item 8. City Council may consider, discuss, and approve a facility use agreement with American Red Cross. And is this the same one we pretty much do every year, or? No?
The Red Cross came to us, and we started discussing natural disasters if we had one.
The old civil offense day.
Yeah. The Red Cross director is here with us today, Frank Barker. And anyway, we started talking about facilities here that we would use, and the most natural one that we would have, that we have full control over as a city, would be the community center. So we started looking, and we needed to get a facility agreement. If in case something happened tomorrow, and we would like to be able to just make a phone call And, you know, if we had a tornado in Wingate and people needed to be housed for, you know, 24 to 48 hours, and then maybe even longer if we had to, but the first 24, 48 hours, if you need to be able to put someone or some people in a facility with beds and provide them food, water, and some shelter. Okay, that's what the American Red Cross, you know, we would be able to call them. They basically, they come in, do a survey, and just do an agreement that they're able to come in and use the facility. There's some terms and stuff with it, you know. They provide someone to come in and assess the building before they actually use it. We provide someone as a coordinator, you know, before they come in.
Provides cots and things like that.
Right, they
do.
They have the ability to provide cots, shower, food, stalls, bathroom facilities, food, water, and so anyway, they would be on our top of our list if we needed it. We just wanted to be able to have an agreement for them to use the community center as their base of operations in Ballinger, possibly in Reynolds County. I don't know if they have anything else in Reynolds County, but anyway, I'll let Frank speak and kind of give a rundown on what they can provide.
What we do is we'll come in. We came in and I just went to the facility, looked at it, did a survey on it, determined what the capabilities of with it. Because we do it based on it's a pre-evacuation or post-evacuation. Pre meaning just somewhere to go in the event. Say you have a train derailment here. Yes, and you're going to do an evacuation, so when you use it as an evacuation center, that would be a pre, where we just do a setup for particularly that 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever it takes to clean up the incident and then let them go back home. Post is after the event, where they have to go and stay because their house is damaged beyond where they can't stay in it. And what happens is if there's 1 or 2 homes, what we do is we come with you and assess the damages to determine, well, you only have 3 or 4 families, so we would probably not open a shelter for that. We'd probably say we're going to give them some initial cash to go and get a hotel room somewhere. And then they could deal with that for the first 24, 48 hours, just to see where they're going to go from there. In the event we do, and it's bigger, and we do need a shelter, we'd call you, actually you'd come to us and say, hey, we need this. Or if the county declares an emergency, says they need a shelter, we would call and say, hey, County of Reynolds wants a shelter. Can we use your facility? They would say, yes. We signed this agreement to use for just disaster use only. Unless you call us and say, hey, something went wrong, we lost utilities, the gas mains went out, and it's freezing cold, and we need someone in the loading center. You'd call and say, can you do that? We would come, yes, we would do that. We do have trailers with the capability of bringing in cots. We have a trailer in San Angelo that's a 50 trailer cot, 50 bed cot trailer with 50 cots in it. And we would bring that up initially. We have some other ones in Abilene. There's 2 100 cot trailers there in Abilene. And we just make calls and we bring them in. We kind of just take them out just so we don't have a Pearl Harbor event or something where they happen. So we bring them in. We have the capability of bringing in the entire North Texas region, which goes all the way to Tyler, Texas, all the way up to Amarillo, and then us on the bottom. So we have that capabilities if we have to bring them in. The bad thing is that with Texas, is as a tornado moves, it usually goes from area to area, and then we have different towns involved. So similar to this the 13th of last month, when we had one tornado hit in Zephyr and then another one in Snyder. So up there we didn't have to open shelters because there wasn't as much damage to those ones. We just put into the hotels. And of course there was other agencies, churches, helping out and getting stuff as well. Now historically only 25% of those involved will stay in a shelter. Even if there's 100 people out there, chances are only 25 is going to stay in a shelter. That's because most people, they think of shelters and they're like, I don't know about that. So they end up finding a family member or go somewhere else. And that's pretty much what they do around here, whether it's San Angelo, whether it's Reynolds County or it's Code County. So that's what we're here for, to sign the agreement ahead of time, so that all we have to do is go in with the maintenance, do an inspection real quick, determine what damage was there already or what's good. And after they leave, we do another inspection, any damage that was done when we took over, then we come back and say we repair it. And that's the Red Cross's cost, which is actually the citizens paying for that. So it's kind of like an insurance policy that the citizens of the United States are putting into it and just putting it aside so that if something happens. So that's basically what this agreement is there.
I have a correction. Crossing Avenue is misspelled. Crossing Avenue is misspelled on the facility address on the bottom of page 1.
Oh, you're on the agreement. I was looking over here on the agreement.
Yeah. On that facility agreement, page 1, that's just got a misspelling of the address.
Okay.
So I don't know really what that is, but.
You call it,
All right, y'all have any questions for Mr. Parker? So it's just pre-agreement, we're set up, and all it is a phone call, whether we call you or you call us.
Yes.
Motion to approve the agreement as presented for the facility of the American Red Cross and Emergency Services.
Second. Yeah.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Barker. Appreciate your time, sir. You want to drive home or get out or run?
No, I'll see.
Okay. We didn't give you opportunity, no?
Just find it in your hands.
I don't have another
All right, I did not see any building permits. Nope. No building permits? All right. Move on.
In absence of building permit, what's the deal with the storage building moved out on the sidewalk on Western Main Street?
We do not yet know. We've tried to contact the individual that lives here, and we had no success in it.
It would be attractive in another setting, but not almost sitting on the sidewalk.
We tend to agree.
Well, it's actually going to be a permit, though, is it?
No,
That's not right.
no. Just on 8th Street, just let everybody know.
Like a dollhouse or a child?
Yes.
It's a storage
Kind of
building.
bigger than a dollhouse.
Right.
Yeah, on 8th Street, it was brought to our attention that someone had put it's a storage unit
That's correct.
that looks like a house.
But it's huge.
A small house, yeah, in their driveway and part of your front yard. And we've not permitted anything. We've contacted them to see if that's actually where they intend to keep it. So, because I don't think Planning and Zoning Committee would approve that. So,
Well, it's in violation of code, we didn't permit variance.
right, so.
many complaints about it already.
Okay, then we'll get to it. They'll do their job.
Yeah, but we need to contact these individuals and see what their intent is. I don't know that they can.
Well, regardless of their intent, it probably shouldn't have put their aim.
Right. It wasn't permitted, it wasn't.
That's correct.
Right, so we need to,
That's right.
we need to talk to them.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
Here's the city administrator's bi-weekly report, please. Keep everything within the agenda, please.
Should we take a break first?
No. My
Hear what?
Well, just because there's a lot of stuff.
I don't know.
Oh, we've given in your packets, the financials for the last 2 months. So, I don't really have anything to say about it other than we seem to be doing really well on our budget. We're about halfway through the year. There's nothing outstanding. We do have a budget amendment slated for the next meeting. We would have done it this time, but Bonita had to be out for a class for the Time Clock Plus, our timekeeping system. So, anyway, we will address the budget amendments in the next meeting. I believe that's April 15th. So, does anybody have any question on the financials? I think that's it. Moving along, we've initiated a lot of our people on our payroll. Most of them use direct deposit. Some of them still get checks cut to their, every other week. In order to try and stem the amount of checks that we're having to cut for payroll, we're pushing for everybody to go on direct deposit. It's been pretty successful. I believe the next pay period is when we really want to get it all done. A lot of people have come in, and we send them a form in their payroll envelopes, and so they can bring them in, and we can swap them over. We'd like to make it mandatory for everybody to do direct deposit, unless there's an extenuating circumstance. We're trying to see if we can get the city council on that same system, but it depends on how we set up our payroll, because y'all really aren't on payroll. Y'all get paid a different way, so if we can get that, then we would swap everybody on direct deposit as well. That whole $20 a month, but that way we could just stick it in your bank and not have to waste the resources and time or the effort to actually cut a check.
I like the feel of it.
Yeah. But unless you have extenuating circumstances,
I bet you read Kindle books too, don't you?
No, not really.
All right.
I'm sorry.
You need stuff in print.
But we're trying to just cut down and make it a little more efficient overall. We've only had one extenuating circumstance, so other than that, we've not heard of anything and expect a full employee participation in our direct deposit.
So going forward, new hires, will that be a requirement on new hires?
Unless there's an extenuating. I mean, I can't, some of, if a person absolutely doesn't have an account and doesn't want one, I mean, I can't really force them to. But, if they have one, there's really no reason. If they have a debit card, there's really no reason not to have it. Unless they don't trust banks and, stuff like that.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Swimming pool season is almost upon us. I believe in your package you have a swimming pool plan.
I don't know if I saw that.
It was supposed to be in your packet.
Okay, we don't have any of that.
We don't have that much.
Okay. Well, I will get it to you guys. This is a report though. Our hours of operation. What happened last week? We sat down and figured out how we wanted our swimming pool to operate. What were the hours going to be? How many employees we needed? Salaries? All this. And I apologize. This was supposed to be in your packet. But our hours of operation are going to be Monday through Saturday. Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. Open from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then they're going to have pool parties, team night, family night, possibly even a movie night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and another slot between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m.
You're not gonna show Jaws and let Brian run here.
I do not know. I kind of figured if we had movie night, we would probably do Disney movies or something like
Thank you very much.
But there's licensing issues we still got to mess with on movie night. But that's our plan. Yeah. We are going to hire 2 adults as pool managers, and we're looking at 10 lifeguards on a rotating schedule with 5 lifeguards and 1 manager at duty at all times. Let's see. Now, I think there's a requirement that they rotate every 15, 20 minutes, giving them, if you rotate them, they stay more attentive to what they're doing, to their new little tasks, whether it's moving from one chair to another or going inside. But anyway, so we're going to have rotating schedules with hours of 10 a.m. until no later than 10 p.m. So your people are going to come in, they'll be able to clean the pool, do their administrative tasks before the actual pool opens at 12. Our managers are going to have $13 per hour. And lifeguards will range from $9 to $10.50 an hour. We will start the season Saturday, 25 May, on Memorial Day weekend, and we will close, the last day of the pool will be Labor Day weekend. And we're not sure how many lifeguards are going to be around back, them, but what we'll do is we'll just make adjustments and have people come in as needed. I believe the school year will start on August 18th, so we're hoping to be open for after school hours from 4:30 to 8, and 12 to 6 on the weekend. This extends the pool, and given it, our intent is to give it more, give the citizens more access to the pool. And so, let's see. We will provide swimsuits. We are going to provide certification. We're going to have classes at the YMCA on April the 12th, 13th, and 14th. We will pay for the certifications with the understanding that the parents sign some sort of promise to pay if they decide, if the child decides not to be a lifeguard anymore. So, they'll need to reimburse the city. We're going to move the snow cone machine from the putt-putt to the pool. We think it'd be more efficient and probably have better sales. We will open the putt-putt. There's been some questions as to what we need to do there. We're not real sure because the state of it at this point is pretty poor. It needs to be renovated. And we're at a point where if we spent money on it to renovate it in its present condition, I don't know, we had 15 customers last year. They tracked it. So it wouldn't be worth keeping a person there or spending money on it unless you maybe decided to expand it and make it a bigger putt-putt course and a different, and you don't want to just spend money on what it is now. You're going to need to do something different. Expand it, put new attractions in it. So I think we're really going to need to look at what we want to do there for next year or the year after.
I think that those numbers might be off a little because I took 5 kids twice over the summer, so that would be 10 of them.
Well, and we may have had a reporting issue or maybe a theft issue. I don't know.
Yeah. But it was never busy though.
Right.
In its current condition, nobody wants to be there.
Right.
But if it's upgraded and fixed, people have already told me they miss going down there and playing.
Right.
But they won't do it in the condition it's in.
Right.
We've got money budgeted to fix it.
Right.
So I don't see why we can't fix it. Maybe we only get 10, 15 people this time. But if it's fixed and people begin to know it's available again, then I think they may come. We're having all kinds of stuff down in the park all the time. And I think that if it's available, they may use it. May not be a great income, but if it's there, it's a potential.
Well, Tommy, didn't you tell me you enjoyed playing on it as is? Since on a regular golf course, you always enjoyed it.
Well, you know, I don't mind it, but you know, some people.
Okay, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah. But, well, and that's the question. Do we need to go ahead and spend money on it this year? Or do we need to spend more money on it than what's budgeted next year? Or both?
I think we should sell some items there, because sometimes my kids go to the park, but they don't necessarily go to the pool, and there are a lot of people that come to the park that don't necessarily go into the pool. So if they want to buy water, or a piece of candy, or even like the easy cheesy little nachos that are, you know, easy.
I think it's nasty. I think if you just resurface the little fairway thing.
I think there's some money.
There should be money.
Well,
Spend money on that now, because it's variety for out-of-town people coming.
It is. Now, I'm not saying we should shut it down.
No,
I'm saying we should open it.
Yes.
You know, and if you want to.
I'm talking redoing the little carpets.
Well, no, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, cornholes.
But Tommy, excuse me, most importantly, I feel it is the condition of it in the woods, but most importantly, it is who has been running that place for the last several years.
Right.
That's where it's gonna stand from, is who you have hired to take care of it, who's running it. Whether they're going to be polite to the public, take care of their job, take care of the grounds there. Because I'm going to tell you, I love that little putt-putt course. But we have not even bothered to stop the last several years because of the people who are running it.
So you're saying the high school kids that were there were not attending to the
He's
people?
talking about somebody that managed previous time. That hasn't happened in the last 3 or 4 years because the pool manager was actually taking care of that as well, and it was doing much better.
You're correct, Sam. Yes, I'm talking about
Previous.
previous.
You're talking
Yeah,
4+ years
Yeah.
ago.
We've got to make sure we have somebody really, really good and decent to operate it, to make a go of it.
Good.
But I think taking the snow cones away from there to the pool is not a good idea either. For the fact that a lot of people, like Christy said, stop for water, you know, something to drink.
I mean, even if you're walking the park, you could stop and grab water there, whereas you probably aren't going to walk into the pool to buy.
Well, there's people that walk in because the counter at the front is where all the concessions. So if somebody was walking or say, hey, can I get something? You bet. Do I have to buy a ticket? No.
Why not just put signage there at the putt-putt saying the concessions are at the pool?
Yeah.
That's our plan. We're moving all the concessions to the pool. The putt-putt's going to be open, and we'll charge whatever we charge to get into the pool. So if you're in the pool, you can go play putt-putt. If you're not in the pool, and you just go pay your dues and then go play putt-putt. So it's going to be open. It's just, I don't see how paying someone $9, $10 an hour, I don't see how you're going to sell enough to justify having someone sit there.
You're not talking about staffing it, you're just talking about opening the gate, and if you pay the pool,
Yep.
you can go get your
Pay
clubs.
the bill and get your clubs and stuff.
So anybody can just walk in the gate, and you're not making any money off of it?
Well, you gotta have, you pick up your sticks and your balls at the pool.
Just get your gloves.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
go pay
Bring
some-
one from home, it's my point.
well, then bring one from home. I mean, it's not a money-making scheme
Yeah.
here, I mean, you're not even breaking even.
No.
So, I mean, we're opening it.
So that's this year, then maybe next year we fix it up.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I think that, I mean,
I'm just curious, I'm just asking questions.
no, yeah.
And the other part of that is the fact that somewhere you're gonna have to have something in place that you know you're retrieving your clubs and all back.
Yeah, maybe leave a license or.
Right. Well,
Some kind of deposit or something. I mean,
right.
if there's not gonna be anybody down there to oversee it,
Well,
then
somebody
you're
needs
gonna have
to
to have
use.
something else in place.
Well,
Kids get rowdy down there. You get them
Yeah.
close involved and send them down the way. Have fun.
I know what fun they would do.
Most people don't want those clubs anyway.
Well, you know,
But we get to
but no, we have a sign out system we're going to start.
Short.
Because we've also talked about providing football,
Those are what we
basketball
want to see.
on a sign out basis. So,
I
anyway.
think I was a civic group that would volunteer and take care
Sounds
of.
like you're the head of that.
That was good.
Well, volunteers would be great, it's just hard to schedule.
Yeah, I've had a couple of people that said they would volunteer their time and work and.
Right.
The one who brought it up should volunteer.
I am.
Well, come see me later. We'll talk about volunteering and putt-putt.
Give me some help.
Okay.
if we can find some people to volunteer to fix it, we might could supply them.
I have people that volunteer.
Well, actually, I've been talking to an individual who had a lot of interest in the putt-putt. He's actually gone to a designer who does putt-putt designs, and he wants to expand it. And I told him it'd be a great idea. But, you know, it's not something we can do this year.
Let's take it one step at a time.
Right.
Let's don't worry about expanding until we get what we've got in shape and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Right, let's let him move forward. He has a whole list here. We got a whole bunch more to go.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying this now. Wait.
Okay, so that was pretty much it on the swimming pool. But I'll get to see you guys, and if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask me later. And I'll get an adapted version to Bill at the newspaper, so he can.
A redacted version is that.
Well, I mean, you know, most people don't really want to care about the details. They just want to know when the pool's going to open.
That's it.
Yeah.
Turn down there.
Yeah. So, anyway,
And I'll put it in this, I can get it in the paper, if you give it to me today, I can get it in this week, or I can get it in the paper next week.
Okay.
Until we open the paper.
excellent. Our water plant, the water plant, we had a valve fail. We talked about it for a while. It is now fixed. This is a picture of the valve that failed. And technically it wasn't the valve that failed, it was the gearbox on the side of the valve. You can see how extended that stem is. Corey, if we could move to the picture of the new valve. Okay, in the top right corner there, that picture, you can see how the valve is a lot closer to the gearbox. That's when we had to end up getting the new valve, is because it had extended out and stripped that gearbox. So we needed a whole new valve to stick in there. Now, if you go back to the beginning of those pictures, what we ended up doing is self-performing this. We had gone to a contractor. They gave us a price of $120,000 to go in, make the repair. And if you'll look, on the top left frame there, that's the pipe that was broken and the valve next to it. We went in and we dug the hole, dug it up. We rented some equipment to pull the water out, to dewater it. This box there that you see, we put it together. We had a crane to stick it in the hole. That way, we can keep our employees safe. Because that wall's pretty steep there, if you can see on the right side. Our guys went in, we got our valve, our guys went in, fixed the pipe, and installed a new valve. And where we got a price the other day of $6,800 to put the manway, the concrete box in there. That way, if this happens again, we can go right in without having to dig or get the equipment. So far, to date, we spent $25,047.12 versus the $131.45 that was quoted to us. So we've saved quite a bit of money there. And we did it safely. The valve is up and running. Everything's up and running. We're just waiting to put the box in and fill it up. So
when you get the box in, you'll be able to put the actuator and get it wired up?
Yes, sir. And all that's good. So, yeah, it was just that. And we're looking at possibly getting that valve refurbished. That way we're not just having to throw it away. It might be, something we can use later. So, not a total loss. And that's pretty much it on the water department right now, on the water plant update. But I want y'all to see what we were looking at there. Water department update, we've been doing a lot of work on 8th Street. We'll continue doing a lot of work. We pull off just a day or two to put in a new valve. We're going to continue down 8th Street, so you'll see a lot more activity. Road will be closed off when they're trying to put that in because it goes from the house all the way over across the street. So they shut the whole road down while they're working.
How many have they got? I know they've got 8 or 10 done. How many do they have to do?
Gosh, I think it was around 20. But yeah, so they started, then pulled off to do a valve. They'll start again tomorrow. So that will continue until all 8th Street is complete. Street repairs are ongoing. You'll see them all around town. And some are patching, some are actually repairing roads, doing the actual patch. Some are just trying to fill big potholes for the moment. But we're making a lot of headway on damage that was done due to the rain, all the rain we had. So, and if anybody has anything major, if you could let us know, or let you guys know, and y'all can let us know.
You're not having any trouble getting any materials for that?
We have been. We ran out of material, actually. Our main supplier in Uvalde, it ran out. Everybody in Texas is now trying to recover from their damaged roads and the rain that they've had. We've had to use an alternate supplier in Grana. So that's where we're going out so Uvalde can get a surplus going again. It's a little more expensive, but it doesn't affect our budget a lot because we're actually going to get the material with our own equipment. Scout hut renovations. We are almost complete with the scout hut. Did they do any inside pictures? There we go. Okay, when we first tackled this project, it was gutted on the inside. There was just studs in the wall. There was no sheetrock at all, except the roof. We tore it out. We've gone in. We've redone all the electrical. We've had a sheetrock. We've done all the plumbing. We had to tear out the bathroom because the bathroom walls were just literally falling down. So we're at a point now where it's totally sheetrocked, the taped and floated. We'll have it textured tomorrow, the next day, and it'll be ready for paint on Saturday. So, and when I say we, the Rotary Club, the City of Ballinger, and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are working on this project together. So, Saturday, the Scouts will be there, members from the Rotary Club, and members of the City Council will be there to paint, which will be fun. They're going to have, I think, hamburgers and hot dogs. So, after Saturday, after the interior's painted, we're going to go ahead and put in the air conditioning system, the bathroom sink and toilet, the sink for the counter in the kitchen area, the stove and refrigerator have already been purchased and ready for delivery. And lights are going to be installed. So after Saturday, we're pretty much, it'll all start falling
And
into
the
place.
bath is all ADA.
Yeah, it is going to be ADA compliant. So, but no, it'll be like a new building.
That's good.
So, and we'll give more of an update after Saturday, after everything starts falling in. But they should be able to use it within the next 2 weeks. So, what's next? Recycling. We've already received some equipment with the grant funds. We received some of the trailers. I think they're painting them, getting some tires on them. Then they'll start, I think the first place they're going to put it is ISD, because they have a pretty big cardboard output. We've talked to them about putting some downtown. So you'll start seeing these trailers showing up. They're going to have banners on them, saying cardboard, recycling project. We've got 4 more trailers coming in, I believe, this week. We looked at a baler down in Bandera. It's supposed to be really double the size of what we got now. Because we're starting to pick up, I think, more planned capacity for, we see a lot of cardboard starting to come in. Anyway, so that's going forward, spending the grant money like it's supposed to be, being kept track of like it's supposed to be. So, our update on water distribution projects, well, I think we did that already with 8th Street. Plaza fountain renovations, Jeff should be here tomorrow. I know I keep saying that, but his job kept going behind, so anyway, we should start seeing some movement at the plaza this week. He's told us he'd get it done before the ethnic festival. Yeah. Personnel changes and updates. We've had some people leave. Willie Cummington, he's gone to the oil field. So we've taken one of our people we had at halftime working at the recycle center, Sheena. We moved her over to water. Let's see. We hired Mike Belcher to replace Sheena. We're looking to hire one more individual to go into water, and one to go into our property maintenance. Our property maintenance department's getting rather busy. The grass is growing. We have a lot of property we need to get mowed every month. So all this is kind of moving forward. We have, actually we moved another person from maintenance over to the water department. Bill, our temporary guy that came in, he's already left us to go fishing. His last day was the 28th. Carlos has actually taken that over. That's the water superintendent there over the water distribution. And we're looking at I don't know what you call it, but every year they hire, I high school kids to come in and help supplement.
Summer relief.
Right. What we're looking at is having a program where we hire someone that's retired and pairing them with someone from high school. That way you kind of have a mentor situation and you don't have a bunch of high school kids up there running equipment and not knowing.
Pop the wheelies on the lawnmower.
Yeah.
So that a lot for you.
All right, so, but it, you know, you have someone with experience that can help guide some of the high school kids that we may have working. So we're looking at starting that program. It gives a little control, it gives a little safety, and helps out both segments of the population. So, well, we're not sure. We're kind of trying to assess what workload we're going to have.
They can't hire you, you're already on council.
Well, it may start, as soon as, the 15th. It may start maybe the next month. We don't want to do that unless we really have to, but, we don't want to start as soon as it needs to be, And I don't know if we need to wait till the kids get out of school or what we need to do, so. But it's kind of in the works. I'll give you information as we go along. And was there anything else? Yes. Our audit starts on Wednesday, our yearly audit. We have signed a contract with Gayla Fullerton's office. And this will be for the year ending September 30th, 2018. So basically last year's audit. Right. So this was already scheduled, already on the contract. It's nothing new. It's just I was going to let y'all know it was going to start Wednesday. Yes, sir.
We hired that firm October the 2nd, 2017, for an annual amount of $20,200. When that contract comes up again, for one, I'd like to look at another auditing firm.
Well, I think we might put it up to bid.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm for that too.
Yeah, it'd just be a good, safe thing to do. We'll put it out to bid.
Yeah.
Kind of look at how to proceed after that.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir. Our citywide cleanup is coming up. April 22nd through the 28th. It's not going to be just the weekend anymore. It's going to be the whole week. That way it gives a lot of people time to adjust their schedules and get their trash to us, or the refrigerator, or their stove, or,
from the front porch.
Yeah, to keep it off the front porch and the front lawn, And if they
Go behind the house and take.
Yeah.
Or pick up loads of junk down.
Yeah, so we'll have the recycling center open, and also too, if they have anything that needs to be picked up, they can go ahead and call Melissa. We'll get it scheduled for that week. And this goes towards our Keeping America Beautiful program. So,
Is this going to have like building materials and stuff like last time?
yes,
Good. I have empty paint cans that
excellent.
are supposed to this.
Okay, just let Melissa know. Let's see what else is next.
About the mural feature, I got to ask you about it the other day. I know it was kind of.
The mural, we had the artist scheduled to come out. There's been some discussion on what needs to go up there. So it's been kind of put on hold so that can be fixed. And not an indefinite permanent hold, it's just maybe another week or two.
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah. So. And I believe that's all I had. Yeah.
All right, here are requests for future agenda items from city council. Anything you need to be on the future agenda, please?
Food trucks, and then the ordinance thing.
Yeah.
The zoning ordinance, I don't think that.
Lower summer water rates.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that a little bit. We're kind of locked in for a little bit. Yeah.
For that to work, people have to work.
I'll water.
In the past.
We spent 20 years telling them to conserve and not to water, and then you lower the rates, you tell them to water, and they're like, no, I'm good.
Longevity.
$400 a month is killing me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She's got a leak too.
Yeah, let's
I had the most beautiful yard in town, and now I plan to have another one.
You have a bigger one now.
Yes, we're really good.
We all got that same
one example of why I don't water my yard. I'm not paying $400 a month.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Thank you all very much for coming in. Appreciate it. Have a great week.